Hello, everybody. Welcome to the daily political tarot readings here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you so much for being here. I am here 365 days of the year to take your political questions out of the chat. So just leave your questions in the chat before I come on. And then I just read on the collective energy. See, it's never 100% accurate, but it is interesting the insights we can get. And this is a spiritual practice for me. So 10% of my income from everything black and orange goes to Feeding America at feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country. That is an ongoing thing. And if you're watching this on replay, hello, you can go down in the description box. All the questions are there, and I timestamp them as I go. So let's jump in, because my wonderful, you wonderful, wonderful people, you know how I always end with, you're not alone, we're in this together, and there are good days ahead. Well, let me tell you, this is one of the good days. Oh, Ricky, and the star of the show, the first aboard the Beatles' Yellow Submarine, Boo Boo's and Kitty. He is underneath the blanket, sleeping up against my pillow right now. So, Fred Rogers, my first time catching this live. Heck yeah. Welcome. You are the patron saint of the channel, so. Kansas, Electra Storm. Yes, that's where we're starting. 2 minutes in. This really is a hangout chat for anybody who's new around here. I try to give you guys credit for all the great things you say in the for all the great things you say in the chat and whatnot. So, all right, I'm still using the iPad because it's better, but I tried even just putting like pretending I was taking nails off, because if I can't wear nails, I probably can't shuffle. It hurt a lot. So, but I mean, it's definitely better. So. It's definitely better, but it's not strong enough to shuffle yet. Ow, that hurt. Okay. Yeah. Holly in France, Alex Jones' lawyer accidentally sent all of his texts going back several years to the plaintiff's attorney. You don't say. Anyway. All right, so make this 3 minutes in. So, my friends, there was ostensibly just a primary election in Kansas yesterday. But in fact, they put in, they were trying to change the amendment in Kansas that protects a woman's right to survive, stuff like that. So yesterday was the primaries. Eileen brought some actual some numbers. Apparently in Kansas, a quarter of a million people voted in the Democrat primary there. So 276,000 votes. The no votes to change the right to choose in Kansas, those who voted no, 500,000 people, 534,000. So Electra Storm is saying Kansas is a preview of November. Good omen. Eileen's question was, will the GOP establishment notice that their own people voted no? So, I'm glad you guys like the background. I saw it and I saw it in the window and I just had to do it. All right, new reading. It will. Well, hey, GOP. Hang on, let me back up here. Okay, we should add to the stream. All right. I don't know in Kansas. Are Republicans going to start backing away from some of their extremism on this? Not yet. Not yet. They still see this as a money-making proposition, and getting young voters involved. The GOP in general, and they are going to continue to be aggressive, and as aggressive as they can be. And like with Trump, they are only going to start changing when they start losing elections. And I don't mean start. I mean like when they lose elections on a huge ongoing scale. That's when they will start changing these extreme positions. Until then, nope. Extremism in the GOP lives on. They're still going to try to create turmoil and pain, and oh well, if something happens to you. So yesterday it failed in Kansas, and that's literally going to save lives. Literally going to save women's lives. That all those no votes yesterday. So yes, they have more to learn over there on the right, but is this a harbinger of what's to come in? This is a harbinger of what's to come in November. And lovers in the middle. They're not listening yet. I just said we're gonna have to get to a point where, oh yes, at the Volpe, Carol Burnett reference for the win. Carol Burnett is a treasure on this earth. But anyway, they haven't learned yet. They're still being all aggressive, and even though it didn't go so well, they're still going to foolishly just go forward with their extremism. And they may have, some of this may have been trying to get younger, say evangelical people on board with the Republicans, but this is heavily motivating the liberal young people too. But no, they're not going to listen. Not yet. So yeah, go ahead with your extremism. I don't want people to get hurt. That's the problem. But the more it's out there, it's just. Kathy Lamson says the GOP couldn't have been surprised, could they? Well, yeah. No, seriously. And I could have sworn there was a headline I just saw. Slate has just come out with an article. I just saw the headline. Kansas voters were the first to see the brutal reality of abortion bans and rebuke it. And in a surprise landslide, Kansas overwhelmingly rejected the amendment. The American people still have ways to stop violence against women dressed up in the sanctimonious guise of coddling and protecting them. Even in a state in which Republican voters vastly outnumber Democrats, even in the midst of a primary contest in which highly motivated GOP voters were favored to turn out to the polls in disproportionate numbers, and even with deceptive last-minute text to voters suggesting that a yes vote on the amendment would protect choice, Kansas stood up and showed up. In fact, more voters cast a ballot in the Kansas referendum than have ever voted in the midterm general elections there. Mm-hmm. La, la, la. So women, there are women who are going to be alive and stay alive because of this. Vote to save women's lives. And they did. We're not going to have wins every time, but this is a good day. This is a good day. All right. So, but let's move on to some interesting January 6th stuff. Okay. So 11 minutes in. Quote unquote, quote, not a mere accident, unquote. Oh, Deb March was saying the ballot was extremely confusing and misleading, but we persisted. Yes. All right, so 11:30. Okay. Open quote, not a mere accident, close quote. The Pentagon joins the list of government agencies that has missing text and call information concerning January 6th, potentially explaining the delay in the National Guard arriving, which was even news to some members of the committee. How deep does this cover-up go? What will we find? Well, let me see what I can pick up. The Pentagon joins the list of government agencies missing text and call information. I think this is a larger reading. The missing... Is it possible that hang on, just checking the energy. Oh, good luck getting away with things. This is the plan. This is what other people, the card for what other people see is the plan, their plan, and it ends with the burden of their own actions. Nice. Home environment, the Trump dynasty. All right, center of the reading. Hemming, blocking, crossed by the bully. So it's not really crossed by, it's more like helping. In past, Trump did a lot to try to get his people into positions of power before January 6th. But in looking at what's missing below it, I've got let's say the January 6th committee, the DOJ, what have you, with laying out all the evidence. And right above them is potential for some serious, well, I'll be getting to it in a minute, but a judge just ruled that Trump can be taken to court over damages that were done to people on January 6th, which would mean every one of them who were hurt. Every police officer who was hurt, every civilian who was hurt could take Trump to court. And going back to the Pentagon in this, if these people delayed the National Guard getting there, oh boy. Near future, what's ahead is prosecution. I want to say that the IG who was overseeing this was just told to step down. Linda Sue, we could use Wolfram and Hart psychics to read all the government workers. A Wolfram and Hart reference for the win. That makes me happy. It's from the TV show Angel. Wolfram and Hart. Yep. Yes, Electrostorm, the IG needs to go to jail. Mm-hmm. Wolfram and Hart. I love that. Hopes and fears. The fear is real investigations. So what else can we find out about this? The missing messages in the Pentagon around January 6th. Oh, you're toast. Trump is toast. These people, the people who are involved in this, are toast. This is a card of theft right next to the card of feeling beaten up. In this case, literally. Oh, wildflower wind. It's in the description box, but I'll be getting to it. But a lot of apparently this IG knew about this missing information quite a while ago, and it's just been sitting there. The center, this is not cooperating, not helping, but card for the reading is legal swords in the back. And these last three cards is Trump related communications and some of the stuff being recovered, some charity, some bits given. Mm-hmm. You're toast. Who just said, for Holly was saying burnt toast. I'm with you. Yeah. Whew. Ooh, Dave's having some vegetarian lasagna. Nice. 17 minutes in. Oh, again, it's a good day. Guess what? Don Jr. was finally questioned by Attorney General Letitia James in the Trump org case. Ivanka is next. So, did Don Jr. incriminate himself? Also, will Ivanka inadvertently incriminate her father? But Junior, and by the way, if Junior regularly, I don't know, I assume you know this, but Junior regularly puts out videos, and they're awful, where he's complaining about Joe Biden, and oh my, he's like a man with severe allergies who lives in a field of wildflowers 24/7. Excuse me. He always starts these videos out with guys, but it's all guys. Joe Biden. It's like, oh, honey, seriously, go to rehab now while it will be comfortable, because it won't be under worse circumstances. But so Junior has been running his mouth, mostly just complains about Biden and how badly his father's been treated. Please. Julie Robinette says he's a twitchy mess too. Mm-hmm. Kelly says his face doesn't work right. So you guys have seen Bethe saying he's high. Ricky's saying Junior regularly opens his mouth and inserts both feet. Pretty much. So, yeah. All right. So how did that go? What did he say? Junior. How did you can plead the fifth in a civil case, which is what this is, but that can be used. It can't be used against you in a criminal case, but it can be used against you in a civil case. But I don't know what I haven't heard anything. Have you guys heard anything about how it went? How did it go? Oh, he was tap dancing. Ooh. But she and that grand jury, or that deposition, the people running that, they're working together. They've got their ducks in a row. Everything's in order. Everything's laid out. That's a happy family card, but that's not the happy Trump family card. And again, that's evidence, just perfectly laid out. And this was Junior tap dancing. What about this valuation? What about that valuation? What about this? What about that? And at first I thought that this might be him pulling himself together and standing in his false. You've heard of standing in your truth. Well, standing in his falsehood and just going full bore on that. But this doesn't. This actually feels like the person questioning him or the people questioning him. Yeah. Whereas he was tap dancing. He was very much knocked back on his heels. He didn't have good answers for things. And they showed up with receipts and with legal blood on their mind to go after the whole grift group. So tap dancing. How well does Junior tap dance? Did he get himself into more trouble? Junior. Trying to read on it, trying to find his energy. It's so sad. I honestly find it sad that I know I found his energy when more than anything, I suddenly want to go. Judgment's coming from him. And it's right there. First card. Then we have quiet as a tomb, legal silence, and King of Cups. This is his dreams of his father's going to get back into power, or some extreme Republican's going to get into power and save Trump, save his father, save him, save all the Trump people. No. Nope. Polly Wanda, I love that. Support Autumn with a like. Support Trump with a girdle. Oh, he has one. Actually, yes, many. That was cute. Yeah, you're done. You're just Junior. Just give it up. Could they? Was he not entirely entertainment only? YouTube. We're just reading the collective energy. So collective energy was Junior. Did the people deposing him think, and what's on the video, was he inebriated? Maybe not during, but certainly before. This reminds me of an expression, someone he was off his face. Yeah. And there was big judgment, like, wake up, pull yourself together, lots of black coffee, because you're the messenger. You have to communicate. But that is definitely one of the cards of being high up. Boy. Hello, Teresa. Okay. All right, Ivanka at 24:30. Yep. 24:30. Ivanka, how is your deposition going to go? Oh, by the way, I read some excerpts and descriptions of Kushner's new book. Oh, the pain. Oh, the pain. if I had to list seriously, if there is a hell and I have to go to it, and it's the traditional kinds of hell, then I'm going to have to listen to Jared Kushner congratulate himself for 500 pages. Oh my God. But anyway, Lord. New reading on, this is Ivanka. How is your deposition going to go? Oh, maybe not so good. Whew. Oof. In the past, she had to shut down her own business. She had to do all this stuff that to be in but she's became more and more and more dependent on her father. Not that she wasn't, but it got even worse. This is business practices. What you put out will come back to you. And things done in secret. This is things done in the quiet, things done when nobody was looking. There's also some isolation between different members of the family right now. Yeah, because she signed off on those papers too. Seriously. So above her, that's the card I used to get for Kushner. It could also be her kids, or both. Base of the reading, she wants to just block a lot of it out. She compartmentalizes quite a bit, and she's completely full of herself. Other people follow rules and read signs, and when it says don't do something, they don't do it. Oh, I didn't see. Everyone gets 1 pumpkin, and she walks off with 2 because the rules don't apply to her. And that's her base. That's her base of her personality, is that kind of entitlement. What's coming up ahead for her? Hung up to dry. Home environment is disappointment. Trying to knock down the legal stuff, but her lawyers just can't knock everything down because what you did. Hopes and fears, how much can they hide how the money was sorted out and where it went? What other people see? Wow. This is going to be a thing. Oh boy, this is going to be a thing. And final outcome, boom. Daddy Trump. Wildflower Wind, this looks like digital tarot. How does that work? Same way that paper cards work. Yeah, the Tower. Yeah, this is, let me finish this and I'll answer your question. So what's going to happen? What's going to happen to Princess Ivanka? Isolation. Communications being held against her. They just keep coming with more cases, with more cases. She spends so much of her time. She begins spending all of her time fighting lawsuits. Yeah. Yep. Kelly, Ivanka hung up to dry. Don Jr. hung up to dry out. Precisely, Kelly. Precisely. Okay. Okay. So this is the app I'm using for people occasionally ask. This is while my hand is recovering. This is an app on my iPad. It's called Tarot with an exclamation point, and it uses the Rider-Waite deck. Can electronic apps work as well as paper cards? Yes. Think about when people go into haunted houses. What do? They take electrical equipment, because spirits very good at adjusting mechanical, electrical things. So yeah, this can work. And ultimately what matters is the feeling you're getting, because I'll even pull cards here or with regular cards and I just get a completely different answer and a strong feeling that has nothing to do with the cards, and that's what I go with. So yeah, this can work. I don't plan on using it forever, but I cannot shuffle. Shuffling really is not an option right now. So okay, 31. Oh boy, DOJ. What are you doing, DOJ? DOJ is escalating its dive into January 6th by subpoenaing Pat Cipollone. Pat Cipollone. Are we closer to seeing some real action by the DOJ? So the DOJ is subpoenaing Pat Cipollone. Oh, I've got a justice card right in the middle. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Tia Pickerel, The Fool's Dog is the company that produces this app, Tarot, in the app stores. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. It's a good one. Kelly says electric equals energy. Tiffany Lilly says the energy. Exactly. Well now, DOJ. This is the card I get for do not underestimate the Democrats or the people who want justice. They were going after the cult members first. They were going after the lower people working their way up, and they've had success with that. Yeah, everything laid out. We're safer because of it. These are the leaders on the far right. Yes, Teresa Ford, Mr. Full of Baloney. What's going to happen here are communications. The far right communications trying to get through the fog. Trying to pull the information out of a big old fog, and that they're still going to be quiet for a while. The DOJ is still going to be quiet for a while, but not forever. But what's going on with Mr. Full of Baloney? Pat Pepperoni, government, Tower, 10 of Pentacles. They'll say what he said to the January 6th committee. Government, there's an insurrection, and Trump's behind it. Nothing big there. But the DOJ themselves, are you coming for the big guys? Yep, they're definitely doing that. They're coming for a lot. It feels like they'll actually go after a number of Republican lawmakers and what have you, but it's still quiet. That's it. So, all right, that's what I got. So we're going to move on at 35. Oh, this is what we were talking about. Oh, thing of beauty. Thank you, Judge. Savor this moment. A federal judge ruled that Trump can be sued and held liable for injuries sustained by the Capitol Police on January 6th. Are cases forthcoming? My feeling is yes. But a judge has ruled that Trump can be sued and held liable for injuries sustained by Capitol Police January 6th. He is the King of Wands. Huh. Oh, you are in trouble. This is him. That's the card for the reading. The center of the reading, we've got incredible corruption crossed with justice, real justice. Ooh, that's kind of stinky. If you've done something wrong, it's very stinky. In the past, he always did what he wanted, fruits of labor. Not that he does much labor. The base of the reading is theft. 8 of Pentacles is above him. That's trying to make money, trying to give speeches, because if he starts being sued by all of these people, what time or energy is he going to have to go make money from these speeches if he's in court all the time? Near future, financially, it is going to suck to be him. Home environment, women. Deborah Murphy says National Police are already suing him. Nice. Hopes and fears that this is the end of the line of him getting away with everything. What other people see. Well, we're not pleased that he's still swanning around playing golf over the grave of his first wife for his giant tax break. Oh my gosh, that is so... That makes me embarrassed for my country, and I am horrified by that. Have you seen her actual gravesite? And you think, oh, well, maybe they haven't put up the headstones and the thing. No, there's a plaque there. It's flat. Basically, it'll just be grass with a little plaque or something. I mean, it's nothing. Final outcome. They are coming for your money. Oh yeah. Geek Hillbilly's saying, power off in Hazard, but the water department is up to Boulogne, 3 miles away, so I may have water in the next day or 2. Recovery continuing, but it's slow. Oh, bless. That's good. That's good. Julia Worcester says, yeah, it's not exciting. You mean, what's not exciting? Please let me know. Kathy Delisle says, it's a parking spot. Yeah, pretty much. And not hers. Yeah. But, oh, trouble's coming for Trump. Oh, yes, it is. Ann says he wanted a mausoleum. I heard he wanted 19-foot tall obelisks. Tacky to the end. Electra Storm says, I thought it takes a while to get a headstone. You can't get it that fast? You can get it that fast? For the amount of money these people supposedly have? I would think so. But who knows? But would they... Oh, Julie Worcester, Ivana's grave, not exciting. True. But if you think about it, it's near the first hole. Do you want a big old headstone? Deborah Murphy says that may be the marker from the funeral home. Could be. Linda Sue, purple plural obelisks. All I heard was 19-foot high obelisk, and it might have been plural. I'm not sure. Oh boy. Shockwave. That is actually a very good question. But let me actually. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to take just a second and grab that. I've got to refresh this page. It'll be just 1 second. Just a moment. Hang on. Trying to, come on, work with me here. Default. Julia Worcester saying, I don't get a grave on a golf course, period, no matter where it is. I agree. And there we go. There's Shockwave's question. Thank you. I just want to grab that. So I'll make sure I get to it, but because you've been asking, it's a good question. I didn't yet. I'm just going to put it here. I'm saying my description box is too long. Usually is. Oh, wow. And that's without any of the, goodness gracious. All right, I'm going to take this out then. There. Now I should have enough space for putting in timestamps. Okay. At 41:30, let's get to the next question here. Yikes, 41:30. Thank you for being here, everybody. Well, 41:45. So election officials are calling law enforcement over threats by MAGAs stemming from Trump's continued claims that the election was stolen. So, okay, election officials are being threatened by MAGA people stemming from Trump's continued claims that the election was stolen, which it wasn't. Will Trump be held liable for the ongoing trauma being inflicted upon these poor people in his name? Should he? Yes. Will he? It depends how litigious they're feeling. It's expensive to bring cases, and he'll do what he can to fight back. But times they are changing, and Trump's going to be in and out of courts. This is going to be his new job. He's going to be traveling around to different courts around the country, howling at the moon. An end to the way his world has worked. There's all of this. Well, an end to the way his world has worked, but also an end to the societal acceptance of election workers, which is just appalling. There is a lot of grief. There's a lot of pain involved, a lot of sleeplessness. But Knight of Cups coming to save the day, coming to help. Medical professionals, could be lawyers willing to help these people. Yeah, sue the pants off the guy. Just not literally, because ew. So, yeah. All right, so at 44:30. 44:30. So Ryan Kelly, who was indicted for his participation on January 6th, went on to run for governor of Michigan and came in fourth place in the primary. Fourth place. Unsurprisingly, he refuses to concede. Will this be a running theme for the GOP through the midterms? Yes. He came in, he's in a primary, and he came in. No, seriously. He ran in the primary in the primary, he came in fourth. Fourth. And he's refusing to concede. You're pathetic. That's wow. Yeah. So is this going to be the running theme of the GOP through midterms? Oh yeah. They learned from the grifter himself. Especially the far right, the more extreme candidates. Oh yeah, that's the plan. What is my question? Yeah, that's what that is. They're trying, I thought so, but I just wanted to see if there was some other option. Basically, with the judgment in the tower here. They're trying to overturn elections. They're trying to overturn democracy. And some of the real crazies are going to get into power. Not presidential power, but in certainly the House, what have you. All of the far right super crazies who've made it through their primaries. Yeah. So extremism is going to continue as long as they're there, and until the Republicans realize it is a losing, very much a losing proposition. Frightening. 47. Jen Glenn had a question. 47. Okay. In Indiana, will the SB 1 total abortion ban pass? The majority of Hoosiers are not in favor of it, even Republicans. If it does, will it create a bigger turnout here? So, Indiana, will the total ban pass? In Indiana, will the total ban pass? Because, hey, Illinois could use some more people living here. Indiana. It's not looking great. They've been on the far right. They've been acting. They've been doing this, pushing for this for a long time. They're so lying. They're so lying. And then they come out with these boneheaded ideas about human anatomy and how things work, and and the most narrow-minded, naive views of how the world works. It's just bad. But there's hope in the Center for Women. This is healthcare for women. There's isolation and howling at the moon, which feels like the far right not having the success with this that they were hoping for. But let's pull some more cards on this. Indiana. Total. And it is total, no exceptions at all. Julie Robinette says Pence is from Indiana, but most of my fellow Hoosiers are great, smart people. I don't doubt that for a minute. Indiana. Is it you tell me if it's a complete ban. It's not going to work. The cards are again saying it's not going to work. Government is being terrible and cruel. And this is all of these people coming and leaving their vote for Democrats and one lone Republican walking away. Mm-hmm. They're trying to steal women's health. They think they've got the votes. They think they've got the situation. But again, I've got hope for women. I've got the far right on the defensive. And take this law and shove it. I don't want to hear no more. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. No, thank you. Put it on the ballot. According to this, not going to happen. So anyway, that's what I'm getting there. Alrighty. We are up to 51 minutes. Oh, this could be, this is either going to be amazing or it's going to be so sad. In Georgia, Herschel Walker has agreed to debates, plural, against incumbent Democratic opponent Senator Warnock. Will Warnock help expose Walker for the fanatic he is? Oh boy. The Georgia debates between Walker and Warnock. How's this going to go? Sad. Oh my gosh, this isn't even close. This is not even close. Card for the reading is a happy, relaxed Saturday at the Garden Center for the Democrats. They are fighting for a government position. Wands and Pentacles are Republicans, Cups are Democrats. This is a card of sickness and being out in the cold. This can be aggressive law enforcement, but because I read on politics so much, some people might not hear as often that swords are fire signs, and they're also communications. So, no, they're air signs. I'm so sorry. I was going to say that didn't make sense. They're air signs like Gemini and yeah. It's thought. It's mental action is what this is. And yeah, I'm not saying him specifically, but do you remember that old expression, something about trying to have a battle of wits with an unarmed person? Yeah. This is, again, bad for him, very unbalanced. Warnock communicating well, bonding well with voters. In the end, America will see. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I'll be able to watch that firsthand. Oof. I might just wait for the clips because that would, oof. Mrs. Devine says, if it was on pay-per-view, I would pay to see Warnock come for him. No, I understand that. I understand. It's either going to be really good or it's going to be really sad watching someone who is so not there. But the lying, it's the lying that's going to it's not being, it's the incoherence, but it's also the lying. That's what's really going to hurt. Walker. He's trying to kick down the different talking points, but underestimating the Democrats. But also this Warnock actually doesn't have to show up and do that much that's extraordinary, because it'll be so obvious that Walker shouldn't be there. So, yeah. Tam is saying it's a wonder Walker's even a contender. I agree with that. Yeah. Tasha Monroe says, oh, I won't be able to handle watching that debate. It would give me so much anxiety. I hear you. Ann Menzies says, I think Walker will bail at the last minute. He doesn't have the skills to debate. Yeah, well, could be. Kind of hoping he does. But for now, it's just doesn't look good. But then again, the voters will see, and that's really ultimately what we want. We want the voters to see why you do not want to vote for this man. So, all right, at 56 minutes in, Biden is due to sign executive orders protecting women who travel to receive the health care they need. Will it stand? Or will his executive orders be attacked and challenged and whatnot? I love that there are states standing up to the Supreme Court saying, no, what you're doing is extremism and we don't want that. I love that. Anne's asking, doesn't it give Walker a sympathy vote? No. I really don't think so, but we could look at it again tomorrow. So, Joe Biden's executive orders to protect women crossing state lines. Like it should be. Well, the curve of the reading is suspension. The center of the reading is the sword of truth. This is this policy that will kill women. It will. Their cruel, awful, far-right policy. And it is this ability, this is the group of the far right who are pushing all of this. Their cause is not good, and it is going to ultimately fail. It is going to ultimately fail, and this helps make it fail, because women see that they, obviously not everybody can travel, but those who can, this ends up hurting these far right states themselves. It's almost like women had too much power, too much autonomy, and so the patriarchal far right was just, I'm going to get over here. I'm just going to keep working on this to get those loose women, what they deserve, and manly men, and stand up for the patriarchy. No, this is the truth. And the truth is, politics is still a matter of popularity, and you ain't got it. So they'll stand. I think there will be there'll probably court challenges. Biden's executive orders to protect women. Yeah, the center, it's the far right states trying to cause rancor, trying to stir up trouble, trying to get their base riled up, thinking they can do whatever they want, but right over the whole thing is temperance. They can't go as extreme as they want to. Good. Every time they fail, more women survive. Yeah. Julie Robinette says, why do I see Matt Gaetz's face on the devil card? I think it's the eyebrows. Really? All right. No, that's what I want. Let's do this. What has lots and lots of cards? Here we go. Gypsy spread. So we have a devil card here. No. All right, let me try again. Oh, come on, devil card. We're just looking. Well, no, not that. Not that. We just want the devil card. Come on. Come on, come on. Work with me here. Devil card. I was trying to pull up a devil card. One more try. Okay, I'll take your word for it. Well, next time we look at for the devil card, we'll see if it looks like Matt Gaetz. Is that what you said? Kathy Delisle, concentrate on Gaetz and it will appear. Oh, Sweet Sugar Jones says, think about Gaetz. Okay. Matt Gaetz. Ugh. Oh, there it is. First card. Very first. I concentrate on Gaetz. Very first card. Oh. I think it only looks like Gaetz in the sense of that beady-eyed meanness. Oh, that was good. Oh, thank you, Linda Sue. But that was classic. Thank you for that. That was great. Beth A suggesting the devil looks better. That's true. Whew. Okay. Let's move on to Shockwave's question. This is really interesting. 10230. 30. Oh, thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you. All right. So, crazy. So, Shockwave was bringing up the fact that the largest Bitcoin mining facility in the world is coming to Navarro County or Corsicana, Texas. They need 1 gigawatt of power to operate. Will this be Texas's power grid's downfall? It can't be good. Giant Bitcoin mining in Texas on the rickety, held together with bubblegum and string Texas power grid. What could go wrong? Oh, they can say, oh, everything's great, just fabulous. Really? Because on the one hand, you have people who are suffering and out in the cold, and here you have people who are also beaten up. So it's going to help a few people, but for most of Texas, no. But it's going to be this big PR deal. And this star card, actually what I'm being drawn to is all the stars, all the quote unquote electricity. I know it's not, stars aren't, that's plasma, but just go with me here. I wonder who got their palms greased in the government. And the Democrats who have less power in Texas are saying, hello, excuse me. Tasha Monroe is saying Abbott has done nothing to repair or improve the grid since that freeze. Man. Tasha's saying We do not need any new challenges to our grid right now. Yep. Jolie S. is saying it's put together with baling wire, so it's good to go, right? Masking tape, painter's tape in a pinch. The Texas power grid. Let's have a look at the Texas power grid coming out. Oh, Lord. Don't expect much change. Yeah. Shockwave says they're looking to finish the build by July 2023. Ultimately, this is not much change here. This is the big PR, what have you. But home environment is terrible, which means this is the people suffering, which I do not like to see at all. In the past, it was getting the Texas grid so completely separate. Above and below, you have people who really need power. You have the vulnerable, you have the children, and in their near future, you've got the government giving their blessing on this much power being used. Yes, Kathy Delisle, Beto, go Beto. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like above and below, the people being hurt, and home environment. I mean, that says it all, really. Get rid of Abbott and the extremists in the government. I don't live there anymore, but I would highly recommend, because in the center, it could be a lovely place. It really could. But here you've got a big old thief. Shockwave saying Elon Musk is involved with the situation. Huh. Yeah. Tasha is saying no one is impressed with how Abbott is handling, well, any disastrous event, from folks freezing to death to babies dying in Uvalde. But his poll numbers still look pretty good, don't they? Better than they should. Mel Broussard says, if I had the money, I would leave Texas, but c'est la vie. Je n'ai pas US dollars. I understand. Yikes. Yikes. Well, hang in there as best you can. All right, at 1:08 and a bit. 8, let's say 15. Athavolpe was saying China's economy is currently at least $9 trillion in the red due to real estate developers and investors walking away from mortgages. Is China hiding this coming crash with all this threat of war and what have you? So is China's economy about to go kaplooey? And they're doing, have sabers will rattle to try to pay attention over here, pay attention over here. China's economy. A lot of people being hurt. Do not listen to their numbers. That's what that's saying. Do not listen to what China tells you how things are going. And they are bullying people to keep things looking good. At the base of this is secrets. That's not higher wisdom. That's secrets. Heartache above. Feeling beaten up in the past. Near future being hemmed in. Home environment on the defensive. Hopes and fears. Fear of displacement or warfare. Having to move with your weapons. What other people see China putting on this benevolent front of helping their own people. Ultimate outcome, insult to injury. Yeah, China's whole situation is much worse than they're making it out to be, but it's China. Yeah, Kelly, China? Why? No. They're gonna try to look okay, but they just haven't been listening, and Russia's rockiness is actually hurting them too. Kathy Delisle says the Three Gorges Dam is going to fail. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Yes, Suburban Housewife, another failed autocracy. Mm-hmm. I just don't. I hope they can get through that with the least number of people being hurt. So, all right, another bit of good news. 111. Nancy is saying China's ghost cities are horrific. YouTube has some amazing reports. I've always wondered, why can't they just let people move in there? Do they just not finish the job? 11111. All right, I'll make it 11111. Nashville voted against hosting the 2024 RNC Convention. Thank you, Nashville. Nashville voted against hosting the 2024 RNC Convention, and currently they are looking, the RNC is currently looking at possibly Milwaukee. Is the RNC going to have trouble finding someone to host their convention? Oh, thank you, Maria. All right, RNC, having trouble finding someone to host your convention? Republican convention? Yeah, a little bit. See, they want their cake and they want to eat it too. They want to upend the government. They want to change everything. And then when that means they can't, I'm not gonna wear pants anywhere. And it's like, well, but you still want to go to this restaurant, this fancy restaurant. Well, I should be able to just, it's like, no, you can't come in. You don't have pants on, you can't come in. Well, I should be able to, and I'm entitled. No. It's private property. You're not entitled. No. That's kind of what I'm getting. They want that I do what I want extremism without the reality, but they still want to be able to say, all right, we're having our convention here. No, not really. They will find somewhere. But when it comes to the Republican National Convention, these cards are amazing for Democrats. Center, Democrats celebrating, Queen of Cups, people high up in the Democratic Party, so people in Congress or the president or big donors, they're right there. Hope, the card of hope right there is, and then it ends with the Six of Cups, which again is just enjoying being out, and Democrats going down to the garden center, it's just nice, and the far right losing their minds. Democrats doing well. That's what that's saying. They'll find somewhere, but what about Milwaukee? Again, didn't they have one in Milwaukee? Well, on the defensive, there's the government at the end there, and 10 of Swords in the back, so doesn't look great. Yeah. And Menzies says there aren't too many places where they want the red hats in their town. I understand. Tasha is saying Abbott and DeSantis will fight for the chance, I'm sure. I'm surprised they're not. Why aren't you going to Texas or Florida? No, besides, they should hold it at Mar-a-Lago. Trump would love that. So, and that, my friends, that's going to do it for me for today. I've covered all your questions, and I'll be back tomorrow. I'm here 365 days of the year. Thank you so much for being here, and they're great questions. And again, Kansas, thank you. Kansas voters, thank you. You have saved lives. You have saved, there are children who will grow up with mothers because you voted to protect the mothers. Thank you. And there are more good days ahead. They're coming around the bend. All right. You're not alone. Just remember, you're not alone. We're in this together. There are good days ahead, and I will see you right back here tomorrow. All right. Take care.